Welcome to Matcha Minutes, where we talk about what's going on in our community. I'm Joe Wilson, CEO of Matcha IT, and today I have two very special guests. I have Mary Stevenson, who is a cancer survivor, and Staci Fouts, who's also a cancer survivor. Stacy has started the Leavenworth County Cancer Support Group in an effort to get support out for people to find resources. So we're really excited to talk about what's going on about their journeys and understand how and what is out there for people who may be going through this. Mary, can we start with you? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I was born clear out in Northwest Kansas,
Okay.
September 1st, 1944, which makes me pretty old. And I grew up on a farm, graduated from the local high school, went to Hayes for a couple of years, worked in Colorado for a couple of years, then went back to K-State and finished my degree. I taught little ones for probably 25 years. And I got cancer 3 years ago, almost to the date. And so that totally changed my life.
Yeah. Can you tell us what type of cancer did you have?
I still have it, stage 4 pancreatic.
Oh, wow.
But I respond pretty well to the treatments, thank heavens.
Mhm.
And, this gives me time to plan my funeral.
Oh, my
That's the way I
goodness.
look at
Wow.
it. And I'm saving a lot on my hair because it's fallen out.
Oh, my goodness. How did you find out? I mean, did you go in?
I was having digestive problems,
Uh-huh.
and my doctor told me to go in and get tested. And sure enough, they called and told me, he says, this is not a good phone call, but you have cancer. But they got on it right away. I go to KU Med, and they've done a great job of taking care of me.
Now, stage 4 in the past would have been an immediate death sentence. You say you have several months?
They don't say.
They don't say.
It's
Okay.
been 3 years. I know somebody lived 10 years with it.
Wow.
I've known people who lived 2 months with it.
And is that just the advancement of technology?
I think so. And catching it soon is the key. And they caught mine pretty soon.
And what about you, Stacy? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So we should have probably bought some Kleenexes with that. You got.
We can get some brought in.
Yeah. So I got diagnosed 2 years ago on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I had just bought my house, and a month later, I got the diagnosis, and it was stage 3 metastatic breast cancer. It had metastasized into my lymph nodes. And yeah, just like you said, I mean, a thousand things run through your brain. And I was like, okay, what do we do? What's the step forward? So I was ready to fight it.
Some people, it seems like they're ready to go out. They're ready to go the next round. They're ready to go to war. Some people just kind of fall apart. What separates the two of you? I mean, where did you find the fight to just keep going and not just kind of fall apart?
I guess, having family and friends around made a big difference. And it happened right at the time of my daughter's birthday, which is March 11th. And I had a ticket to go see her. So she just came to see me instead, and we did a bunch of shopping so I'd be ready. Buying the right slippers and clothes and stuff, So I don't know. I just thought it was either give up or do something. And I decided to do something.
That's amazing.
And I agree. Friends, family.
Yeah.
Because you have to turn to somebody you have to talk to.
Exactly.
To people about it. So I think those are important. For me, I didn't want to die. And I was going to do whatever it takes to keep on going. So
I'm sure it's hard for you. I'm sure it's equally hard for your families to hear those diagnoses. My father, he had lung cancer before he passed. And I remember hearing that diagnosis and the shock as a son that I felt, what's next? How do you comfort them while also enduring this?
Well, I think for me, my friends, most of them reacted with like, oh no, are you sure? Are they sure? Are they positive? It's like, yeah, I mean, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's real.
They don't make these things up.
Yeah. And So, of course, just like I said, they were asking, well, what are you going to do next?
Mm-hmm.
What's the plan of treatment look like? And so after I found out, then they were just kind of with me for the journey. This week I'm going to get my first chemo, or I'm going to go and get radiation, or here's the big surgery, the mastectomy. Just you have to, I think with friends and family, you have to give them just as much as but just say, I'm okay or I'm not okay.
Yeah.
When you talk a little bit about the process you went through as you were going through treatment, can you tell us a little bit more for people who maybe not doesn't understand what that looks like?
So, depending on the type of cancer, there's it's not just a cookie cutter thing. It's very much it's so different from, say, 50 years ago when I had an aunt with breast cancer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's just so many things that are different. And so depending on the cancer, where it's found, what all the labs and the tissue, everything shows, they plot out a course that for me, it's the Elizabeth something. And I tried to find this name. It's based off someone that was my age, diagnosed with the same type of things. And her name was Elizabeth something. And I can't remember. But they based a lot of the treatment on this person who was tested. And she was kind of their guinea pig for what I went through. And so they literally have a Cancer 101 class at the facility that I started with, the hospital that I started with, and you learn all about it. You meet all the doctors that are going to take care of you, all of the breast navigators, as what they're called, that set up all your appointments. It was a wonderful experience, absolutely wonderful. And they give you a binder and they say, hey, I'm Dr. Such and Such. Here's all my information. If you need to call me, here's my card. It was wonderful. And so I knew what I was going to go through, each step of it. And so initially I started with, it's called, I have it on my phone. It's a 4-bag, 1 full day treatment. And a lot of people refer to.
So when you say bag, you mean like an IV?
IV bag,
Okay.
yeah. And each bag is a different kind of medicine to treat the cancer.
Okay.
So 1 bag might last 3 hours. And a lot of people, if you're listening and you're in the medical field or you're going through it, you'll recognize it as chasing the red devil's chasing you, is what they say, because it's red. And it is the hardest kind of medicine you can get. And second treatment, I lost all my hair, and it was, you lose the weight, you lose all kinds of stuff. So, and we can talk about that in a minute. So
that's the way I knew I had something wrong, because I was losing so much weight. And I'm not a real big person anyway, but I had gained quite a bit, and I was just losing weight right and left. So I knew something had to be wrong.
When you went through your treatment, was it similar to Stacy's?
I remember talking to quite a few doctors and having then the certain ones, the surgeon talked to me, which they can't do because of where it's located. And for a while, they had me on 2 types of treatment, which messed with my heart. So now I have a heart doctor. I've got a lot of doctors. But yeah, it was kind of similar, I think.
What kind of things in your daily routine changed as you guys were going through your journey?
Well, I stopped traveling very far right away. And the first year I was kind of scared to go anywhere that I might catch something. Then I thought, well, what the heck? I've already got something. So I started back to exercise, and I do a fairly simple exercise. I started doing my crafts again, and I haven't traveled on an airplane, but I've gone further, like out to my sister's, which is 6 hours out there.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not really scared.
So I guess going through the treatment, initially, I couldn't even walk.
Oh.
I kind of,
Really?
yeah. I mean, I was using a walker or a cane.
Yeah.
Because I had lost so much weight and muscle atrophy.
Yeah.
And so, and I couldn't work. So I was just pretty much housebound, pretty much in bed all the time. And then after I went through the mastectomy and the radiation, I went on maintenance chemo. And in February of last year, I was able to go back to work. So I've
Oh,
been
wow.
back to work just over a year. So it changed a lot.
Looking back, what is one of the things that you think people misunderstand when they're diagnosed with?
I think people automatically go, like you can see it on their face sometimes,
Mhm.
and they think, "Oh my gosh, how much longer do you have?"
Yeah.
And it's
Don't
like,
ask me that.
yeah, because I don't know, But I think once you explain, it's not exactly like you see in the movies,
Yeah.
where you're automatically given that death sentence. And once you show them, like you and I, we got the will to fight
Yeah.
and do things and be active, and we're not going to let this get us down. I think you change everybody's attitude.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
I had somebody tell me, she said, I haven't called you. I didn't know what to say. I said, well,
I had somebody say that too.
you know, you don't have to say anything. But then I had other friends that somebody sent me a card every week. And I'm going, okay.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of support from my exercise friends.
What was the hardest part? The diagnosis, the treatment, the waiting, or just the unknown?
Probably all of it.
Yeah.
You know. The diagnosis was hard. It's not like I never thought something like that could happen to me, but then it's still a surprise.
For me, it was the initial treatments. And then I got scared when I was on maintenance and going back to work. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I get sick at work? They're going to fire me,
Mhm.
which, they did not. But, I worried about that all the time because you still get a little sick during maintenance. And I just worried all the time. If I got sick and I had to be off 2 or 3 days, how were they going to look at me? And I was like, you know what? I can't control that. I have to keep going through my treatment and just see what happens. So,
One of the things I meant to ask you earlier is, do you have a history of it, or are you the first person in your family to get cancer?
no, for me, there was my grandparents. I've had aunts on both sides. A lot of people on both sides of the family had cancer.
Mhm.
And initially in 2020, during COVID, I got diagnosed with stage 0, which means I had tumors in one breast that hadn't metastasized, hadn't spread out any. So I just went and had the tumors removed and thought, okay, phew, it wasn't bad. I beat it. And but in the back of my head, I'm like, did I really?
Mhm.
No. So of course, then I didn't.
And for you, Mary, did you have family members who had cancer?
I think
or?
I maybe had a great mother that had pancreatic.
Mhm.
I don't know because it would be so long ago. And of course, they didn't have the treatment then,
Sure.
like they have now.
What did you do to prepare yourself for the treatments?
So this is something that in the cancer group, I really want to talk about when you first get diagnosed. Like I said, you have a thousand things running through your head, your finances, your family, your kids, work. There's so much to think about. And then all of a sudden in one day, you've got to plan it all out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think initially you have to think, if you're still working, Do I have long-term disability? Do I have short-term disability? Do I have FMLA? Because you're going to need all of those.
Mhm.
And then you're going to have to talk to your insurance company and find out what copays are going to be. I can tell you for my port implant, it was over $1,000 copay.
Wow.
So financially, you better be prepared. And if you're not, another thing that I talk about is the resources.
Mhm.
There are different resources that there's a social worker should be for your clinics or you're going at the hospital or wherever. She can help you find some of these. You can apply and get assistance. Sometimes the hospital has different kinds of funds that can help you out. I have a lot of resources on that. So there's just a whole lot to think about and plan out. And then, so when you're getting ready to go for your treatment, maybe the first one won't be as bad. Mine wasn't that bad. In fact, I went to Walmart afterward and did some grocery shopping or something. But then the second one, I woke up and all my hair was laying on my pillow. So
really?
you're in your head, you're thinking, okay, so I'm going to need a wig. I might need some hats. I might need some beanies. They call them chemo beanies. And again, some of those are made by volunteers at the hospital.
Mhm.
The COA has some things, I believe. People like you knit them for people, that need them. So you have, you're thinking about all of this stuff. What can I eat? What can I not eat? So those are the things that you really need to plan for. But financially is probably the biggest and hardest thing that people struggle with.
You talk about diet. How important is that as you're going through the process?
Really important. I mean, you need to, and I lost all sense of taste.
Oh, really?
It seemed like everything on the page that says during chemo, you might experience. I went through every one except one of them. I never ran a fever, but I broke out with ulcers all
Oh.
over my head, face, in my mouth, in my throat. And there's a special mouthwash that you have to use
Mhm.
to clear it out. And by the time everything cleared up, I was ready for the next treatment and it would start over again. So, they'll give you a list of things that might happen. And you might have some of them, you might have all of them. Unfortunately, I had all of them. So,
What about for you, Mary?
I haven't really had any special diet. I know I don't digest salads well,
Oh.
but I still have one maybe once a week, not a big one. But other than that, I can pretty much eat anything. And some days I'm really hungry, other days I'm not. It comes and goes.
As you talked with your friends and family, who of your family took it the hardest?
Probably my husband because he lives with
Really?
me.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my daughter was upset. We just had the one and two grandchildren, and they live in Pennsylvania. But she's been very good about coming
Yeah.
and being with me and helping out. And my sister out in Western Kansas comes pretty often. And then Mike's sister down by Manhattan comes like every other week. And that's fun because we shop and eat.
Mhm.
The important things in our life right now.
I think my friends were pretty upset. You hear things like, that doesn't make sense because you work out all the time and you eat
Exactly.
well and you do this right and you do that right and
Doesn't make
you don't
any
even
difference.
drink so, and I'm like, well, it doesn't target specific people, so probably my friends took it.
How much now that you've survived it, how much is it a concern that one day you're going to wake up and it's just going to be back?
Yeah. I always tell people once you have cancer, you always have it. Whether you have it, excuse me, physically, it's always in here.
Yeah.
You always wonder that exact question.
Well, I will always have mine because they can't operate. And at first, when I heard that, I was really upset. Then I heard what a brutal operation it is
Mhm.
and your recovery time. and that
Mhm.
there's a big chance you die on the table. So I
Oh,
guess
wow.
I'm doing better not having the operation.
What is the survival rate for most people with pancreatic cancer?
I don't really know. I need to ask that. They have all kind of literature, and I've read it more than once. I don't know. I think it just depends on when they find out and how long it's been and how you tolerate
Mhm.
the treatments, which I do pretty well.
So you still get the chemo?
Oh, yeah. I think I will the rest of my life.
Do you do radiation treatment or just
Once they did radiation, only once. And that seemed easy,
Yeah.
other than holding my breath.
So, as part of your treatment, you still have the cancer. What is the treatment to ensure that it stays away or that
I
it's
think just the chemo, and then they do CT scans all the time.
Uh-huh.
Not all the time, but every few months to find out if it's spread or anything. And so far it hasn't.
Stacy, when we first met at the support group, you had a number of resources. Can you talk about some of those resources?
So I always advocate for Council on Aging. I think they're a wonderful group, and they certainly, having them as my resource for food, the Meals on Wheels was fabulous.
That's
The
right.
drivers are
Yeah.
fabulous, and the cost of it was very affordable. They also have driving service. It costs a little bit of money to come pick you up and take you to the store. It costs a little bit more if they were taking you to like a treatment, say in Lawrence or Shawnee or wherever you needed to go. So they have a lot of services. And they also mention, as well as what some things that I have, there's United Way, there's Catholic Charities, those kinds of groups that their number is, I mean, get their number, I have it, but so, we're looking for sources like that, expanding outside of state, maybe nationally. There's the Pink Foundation, and they have some funds, Susan B. Komen Foundation. So those resources that are more nationally, you might have a better chance applying for assistance with them since they're everywhere.
Mhm.
So
What is the goal of the support group that you're trying to start?
I think my main goal was kind of twofold. First of all, we don't have anything like this in the county,
Mm-hmm.
and and I wanted people to kind of get together and share resources, but stories. And so every now and then you run across somebody that says, "Gosh, I don't know where to start," or maybe somebody just needs their lawn mowed or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Or can you go to the store for me?
Mm-hmm.
As a group, maybe there's somebody that's better able to help out in that that situation. So it was community coming together to help each other, and I think that's so important, especially nowadays. And then, of course, the resources. We do lack a lot of resources in this county. And you and I had talked about one in particular. There is a gas card out there, and you can apply and get the gas card to take you to and from cancer treatments. It's available in Douglas County, Shawnee County, Wyandotte County, and Johnson, but not Leavenworth.
Really?
And I had called a couple times and I inquired why, and nobody had an answer. So I don't know how to get that for us. So if anybody has any ideas, that would be great. So those kind of resources, I think, are super important.
Sure.
I work for a hospital system now where a lot of people from Leavenworth County are at the cancer center getting treatment. And that would be so helpful to have that gas card to get them to and from.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how has the treatment changed for people with breast cancer now versus maybe 10 or 15 years ago?
Um, I don't know specifically about like the chemo. Um, chemo to me is still it's still an ongoing understanding of like all the different kinds. I will say that my aunt, um, when when she had her mastectomy, and several people from maybe even 20 years ago, um, they used to just cut right through everything. And now they don't cut into the muscle at all. I mean, as much as I mean, they still have to a little bit. So, but they're trying not to dig out your pectoral muscles, and I'm trying not to be too medically explicit. But, that has changed dramatically. It used to just be really, cut you up and leave you with horrible scars. And I had a good experience where they just went on top of the muscle. And so, yeah.
Do you feel like being in the medical field prepared you more than probably the average person?
Yes. And there were things that I knew that I didn't want to know.
Oh,
So,
talk a little bit about that.
well, you talk to people, and certainly I have seen people without tops on, and so I've seen it literally. And you're like, oh gosh, I'm, I hope that's not me one day. And then when it is, sorry,
It's okay. Take your time.
Yeah.
Can we get you a tissue?
that would be great.
There's got to be somewhere.
So when it is, I think now I'm just like, just so badly want to talk to that person and tell them it's going to be okay.
So when does your group meet?
It's right now. It's just right now. It's just once every quarter.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm really still trying to figure out what people want. Do they want something like this? What do they need? I'm just kind of like, tell me.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
As you talk to people who just get diagnosed, what is something you would tell them in order to prepare them for this, other than it's going to be okay? Because I think everybody says that to them, and you don't know what to expect. So you have this fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Mary, what is something you say to somebody who may have just gotten cancer or just been told?
Well, I would just try to share my experience. I haven't had that experience yet where somebody's had it since I have. And I've had 3 years. I was just glad that I had it at my age instead of little ones. When I see those little ones in the hospital, that's so sad, child. And then a lot of them die from it. So I would just use my experience because that's all I have.
For me, I kind of approach it like, what do you want to know? I can share what I went through. Might be different for you.
Sure.
But what would you like to know? And I can share what I went through. Might not be the same for you. But and I've had to do that in my working role at the hospital. So and people will say, well, just what was that first treatment like? And as I said, my first treatment was fine. It was the second one that got the ball rolling. So, but there are things that people just a little bit at a time. They have to digest that.
Yeah.
So I think, just what do you want to know? Where do you want to know about, like I said, the finances and what to think about, or do you want to know how ugly it gets?
It seems like people with cancer have created a community, and you probably meet people along the way. What were those conversations like as you were going through this? Did you meet a lot of people? Was that not? I mean, I guess my experience is what I see in the movies, and people are getting treatments as they're talking to other people. Is it like that at all, or?
Now, I didn't know anybody. I only knew of family members that had cancer. And I had one friend that had thyroid cancer, like 15 years ago. And I don't even think she did like radiation or anything. She just had the thyroid taken out.
Yeah.
But she didn't go through what I had. And now I have another friend who she's in hospice right now. Started out as lung cancer and it's metastasized just about everywhere. So we have talked quite a bit, and she's been in one of my group sessions. So again, it's a little bit different, but I mean, the bottom line is the same. How are we going to keep going as far as we can?
Once you hit hospice, I mean, that's pretty close to the end, isn't it?
Hospice doesn't always have to be the very end. It's hospice can be people coming in and taking care of you, and like it could be, like you said, you've had it for 3 years. People can go 10 years.
Yeah.
But you still will need this help.
Mm.
You might not be able to get out of bed anymore. So these hospice people will come in and help you out.
Mary, if you could say one thing to our listeners about what your experience was like and how you overcame it, what would it be?
Just keep hanging in there. Keep doing what you're doing and stay positive. I think that's the most important thing. And don't be around downer people. I've had enough of those in my life. You've got to be around happy people who understand what you're going through. And so far, I've been very lucky. And as far as finances, we have Medicaid and TRICARE for Life. So it's taking care of everything, as far as I know.
So that's kind of interesting. So for our more seasoned generation, does Medicare and Medicaid take care of all of it?
So far, it has. Now, they may send me a $10 million bill tomorrow. I hope not.
Oh, my gosh.
But so far, they've taken care of all of it.
And what about for you, Stacy?
No, it wiped out my entire savings, and I'm now probably looking at selling my house to pay it off.
Wow.
So,
Are you on Medicare?
oh no,
Oh, so you're too young.
I'm 3 years away from that.
Oh,
Yeah. So, it wiped me out, and I thought I was going to be able to retire at 62, which I am now, and that's not going to happen. So, but I'm picking myself up, and
you have
You just-
family
yeah.
here?
do it.
You have family here?
Yes. Yeah. But I'm just going to pick myself up, and if I got to start over, I got to start over.
Yeah.
I don't want to be too invasive, but if you were to talk about ballpark numbers of what it cost you, where would it be? Just for somebody who either doesn't know or maybe getting to that, I'm sure insurance covers some portion
Some
of
of
it.
it. Yeah. Well, like I said, my copays, and it's everybody's insurance is a little different. So like the port, the copay for that was over $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then to get started on the chemo was $500 there, $300 there. It was just outrageous for the copays. But if without insurance, 1 day of initial chemo is $182,000, if
Oh
not
my
more.
gosh.
Ooh.
So if you don't have insurance, I mean, that's an astronomical number,
Sure.
almost 200,000 for 1 day.
Oh,
So yeah. And then there's out of pocket things. Like I paid for some wigs and some caps and
Yeah.
the chemo beanies. There's just a lot. And then you can't take any vitamins or supplements. I couldn't because it messes with the chemo.
Really?
So it can in some instances, whatever vitamin you're taking can decrease the strength of it. So, just getting back on your feet after you're done with everything it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And for me to start over after not working it's a lot of money.
You're cancer free right now.
I am in remission.
Intermittent.
Let me explain. There's a
Okay.
difference.
All right.
Remission is you are not cancer free. For 2 years, you get a scan every 6 months.
Okay.
So, and then in the 3rd year, you get your scan once a year. At 5 years, if it still doesn't show anything, then you're cancer free.
Okay. It's a good distinction. I had no idea.
A lot of people don't know that, but I got to ring the bell recently that says
Okay.
I'm done with chemo for right now and hopefully don't have to go back. But a lot of people at work were like, oh yeah, you're cancer. No, I don't know. It could come back within 5 years. So who knows?
Yeah.
So what happens after 5 years?
After 5 years, I guess, I hope they'll tell me, hey, we've been getting all these scans, they're showing nothing. And so now you can say I'm cancer free. But it takes 5 years. Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't tell you guys, but we usually do 2 segments on the show. So the first segment is where we really dig into the different topics. The second segment's a little bit more light, where we get to know a little bit about you guys individually. It's kind of like icebreaker questions.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I thought I already told my story.
We call this the rapid fire segment.
Oh,
And so, Stacy, what's the best piece of advice you've ever gotten?
stay stress free,
Okay.
whatever that takes.
Mary?
I probably wasn't listening.
Okay.
I'm a little ADD. Oh, I'm sure it was from my parents early on, and they were wonderful. I had a wonderful family, and I'm very thankful for that. And then, of course, my husband has been very supportive. I mean, what else can you do? So we're testing out in sickness and in health.
All right.
That's wonderful.
Mary, your favorite place to eat in Leavenworth County?
Oh, boy. Well, I like the suburban.
Okay.
Any of the Asian food. Tomorrow night I'm going to Luigi's. So
Okay.
just all kinds. Yeah.
All right. Stacy?
Hands down, Tampico.
All right. Tampico, huh?
Tampico.
Oh,
The Mexican.
yeah. That's my favorite Mexican. Yeah.
Stacy, one word that describes your cancer journey.
Weird.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Mary?
I guess hopeful,
Okay. Good. One thing people should say more often.
Oh, boy. Just hang in there, I guess. I'm thinking of you.
I love you.
Oh, nice.
That's
Friends, family, let them know.
Yeah.
Your biggest source of strength.
God.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Mary?
I agree there.
Mary, what's one lesson cancer has taught you?
To live every day, never knowing when you're going to die, Just have to live for a minute. Slowed me down,
Okay.
which was something.
Stacy?
Would have to agree along the same lines. Slow down for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just, again, make it stress free.
Yeah.
Slow down. Yeah.
One thing that gave you hope.
I knew that there was light at the end of the tunnel.
All right. Mary?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's kind of been a rough going, especially at first, because I just was so surprised. But just having friends and family and God walk me through this.
One thing you wish you would have known sooner.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
Stacy?
guess how to deal with it, would have been handy. But you never think of that before you have something wrong.
Yeah. I would agree. That's a hard one to answer.
Yeah.
What does courage mean to you?
Getting up after every time that you get knocked down.
Okay.
Getting right back up.
Final thoughts as we kind of come to the end of the show. What are your final thoughts for our listeners, Mary?
Just, if we can come to a support group, that would be wonderful. Support other people, even though they don't have cancer, they may have something. Feel like I know people with ALS,
Mhm.
And that is such a horrible disease. We've had so much dementia in our family that a university did a study on us. I
Oh,
was not
really?
included, but I don't think I have that yet. I hope not.
You seem to be doing pretty well. Stacy?
Um, Same thing. Let's support each other and let's find a way to do that.
Mhm.
Tell our stories, be neighbors, just be a community within the community.
If people want more information about your support group, where can they get it?
They can email me, Staci Fouts at gmail.com.
Okay. When's the next one in town?
We have not planned that yet.
Okay.
But I will put it on Facebook.
Okay, that's good.
I included Leavenworth, Lansing, Baser, Tonganoxie. I try to hit all of those big
Sure.
Facebook groups, so it'll be out there.
Awesome. Awesome. I really appreciate you both being here. I can't imagine the journey that you've been on. Admire your strength to overcome it. I've talked to people who've had cancer and they've shriveled up and didn't want to leave their room. And so to see you guys as such fighters is really just inspiring. And I hope people see that as well. You know, there are resources. It doesn't matter how old you are, you can overcome this. You just have to have the right mindset. Um, Thank you for joining us this week for the Matcha Minutes. If you like our content, please subscribe. We enjoy the views. We enjoy bringing you content about what's going on in our community and our fellow community members. Once again, Mary Stevenson, Staci Fouts, cancer survivors. And if they can do it, you can too. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.